When we hear the story of Cinderella, we all picture the same ending. The prince finds her, she leaves the ashes behind. They live happily ever after. But today I want to tell you a different story. What if Cinderella never left? What if she stayed Cinderella, not a year, not for a year, not for a decade, but for almost 80 years? This is not a fairy tale. We have started a series where we talk about life at 70, and we have been talking a lot about my dear friend, Miss Levy. Obviously, it's not her real name, but we have talked about her story and hoping that we can actually observe her life, the work she worked through, the work she already walked through that we are walking today, to see if we can catch up some little stuff and apply or remove or add into our lives. Okay, so what if Cinderella never left? Miss Levy grew up with one sister. She had other siblings, but her sister, they were close in age. She grew up with that sister, same parents, same house, same neighborhood, but they didn't grow up in the same world, okay? Her sister was the babe. Like she always says that her mom called her sister the babe. That's my babe, okay? And she was the favorite, of course, the child the mother wanted to protect, the one who wasn't expected to do much around the house, obviously. Miss Levy was different. Her mother used to call her the Regan. She would clean, she would wash, she would serve, she worked. Okay? Before she even understood what love was, she learned that her role was to take care of everyone else. She was a very good student. Most of the time, her grades were better than her sisters. You would think that her mother would be proud, but no. Instead, her mother would say, "Why are you trying to outshine your sister? Who do you think you are? You think you're smart? You're still ugly. Hmm? Why are you trying to make her look bad?" Imagine learning that succeeding hurts people, that shining is dangerous, that being gifted create problems. So what does a child do? She started she started making herself smaller and smaller and smaller. Not because she wanted to, but because it felt safer to do so. Then came the choir. So, in that little town where they lived at the time, the church wanted girls to sing in the choir, and at that particular event, they wanted a lead singer in the choir. Both sisters wanted to join the church choir. So Miss Levy told me she didn't know how she sang that day, but where does that voice came from? But when she opened her mouth, she sang, oh my God, and really sang. Until today, she has a really beautiful, beautiful voice. You know, harmonies, she does that all the time. It's beautiful. So, when they finished singing, when everybody finished going through their turn, they lined up all the girls to choose the lead singer. And the priest was looking at her, and she was praying and pointing at her sister like, pick her, pick her, pick her, pick her. That's what she told me that she was doing, because she saw the priest looking at her like he's going to choose her, and she was pointing to her sister, pick her, pick her. And then the priest says they chose Miss Levy, and she was saying quietly, pick her, pick her, pick her. And then when he said her name, the lead singer is Miss Levy or Levy. Miss Levy said, she told me that she said loudly, "No, pick my sister. She sings better than me." And when she said that, her sister punched her like quietly, gently, like, "No, they want you. It's you they want. It's okay." But in her mind, she was so scared. She wanted her sister to have that, because as a sister you want the best for the other person. But mostly she wanted her sister to have the lead sing, because she knew that When she will have that, when she will go back home, it will be hell for like months, because her mother wouldn't be happy of her taking having that. So when her sister said, "Oh no, it's okay, they picked you," so she went again and she sang, she was chosen. She said that she had never felt so light, so alive, so beautiful, only for that moment. And she sang and she felt so alive, so beautiful. She couldn't believe that it was her voice. And for a few moments, she wasn't the girl who cleaned, she wasn't the girl who served, she wasn't the Regan. She was simply Levy. Then she went home. And what was supposed to happen happened. For the next month or so, life became hell for her, because her mother couldn't celebrate the fact that her daughter, like Miss Levy, was chosen instead of her elder sister. So, as Miss Levy, and I'm telling you, elder sister, like usually parent like the younger one more, but yeah. As Miss Levy was telling me this story, one sentence kept coming back. My sister's life was always like that. Let me explain. She said that her mother prepared her sister for that kind of life. Today, what type of life? Let me explain what type of life she's talking about. Today her sister lives surrounded by family. She has a beautiful home with a big land and a big space, okay? A huge space. Her daughter even built, the daughter of her sister, so her niece, built another home close on the same property so that she can stay close to her mom. She is cared for. She expects to be people to love her, and they do. Like, okay, she always tell me that her sister used to the husband of her sister, he used to drive plane, and every time her sister will want to go somewhere, she will call her husband and he will come and pick her with the plane and they will go. So that's the kind of story she will say. And she will say that her mother prepared her when they were younger. Her mother will buy her beautiful clothes, and when she had money, she will make sure that her sister was served, was she will make sure that her first daughter was really taken care of. So she prepared her daughter, the elder sister, for the life she is living right now. That's what Miss Levy always said, that her mother prepared her sister to live like that. So Miss Levy, on the other side, today, Miss Levy lives alone. That's what strike me with that. What came with the story, the title of Cinderella. I felt really like when she always talk about her sister and people around her, but it really strikes me that metaphor in my head, and I just paid more attention to that. So Miss Levy today lives alone. She never bought in her life a new clothes for herself. She always used second-hand clothes. When her son come to visit, he doesn't ask, "Mom, how are you?" No, he asks for money. Of course, there are other things that are intertwined to explain why this happened, but this is her reality. She lives alone. Her grandchildren rarely come. The father of her son left when the baby was still very young, when her child was still very young. He's 40 and plus today. She has grandchildren who are 20s and plus today. But she spent her entire life giving time, giving energy, giving money, giving herself, uh, cleaning, helping others, and doing really the Cinderella job, right? Even today, she still gives people money she can't afford to lose. She helps people before helping herself. Maybe that's not what Cinderella was doing, but it's a little bit close. And almost every single time she regrets it afterward, because now she doesn't have enough. Okay? And I listened to her, I realized something. She wasn't born this way. No. She was trained this way. And I can't help to think of me. How was I trained? How am I training my kids? Miss Levy learned that her value come from sacrifice, that love had to be earned, that someone else needs mattered more than hers. And when you spend a lifetime believing that you don't just give away your money, you give away your voice, your dreams. You stop fighting for what matters to you because you don't exist. Your opportunities, you give them away, and little by little, you give away your own self. So I am asking us, how were we trained? Were we trained to be in the life we're living right now, living in a mansion or in a poor hut or in a apartment or in a, I don't know, were we trained to be served or to serve? Were we trained to be happy or resentful? Were we trained to be bitter or were we trained to be abusive toward other people? I'm thinking about one story she always tell me about her dad, because when she talks about her dad, you feel a lot of love. Even though the man used to beat the hell out of her, there is a lot of her love. She can explain to you why her dad beated her, but her mom, she doesn't understand why her mom didn't love her. The words, her mom never beated her. Her mom used weapons, words, and those are the things she remember. So she used to say that her father, not in those ways, but that's what I'm saying. I am seeing right now. She used to say that her father didn't knew better. He were trained to be abusive toward other people because his father was abusive toward him. He learned to know that to be a man you have to to show your strength, and that came with punchings and punches and stuff like that. How were we trained? And how do we intend to change things or not? Now that we become aware of our training. Thank you for watching. I'm Crystal.